Hey everybody, DMB back with Sonic CD. Today we'll be playing Collision Chaos, but before that, let's start with this installment of bot spotting. First up, we got this guy. He looks like some kind of cicada or a locust or something. He'll hang out on the walls, and when you get close, he'll start flying around just like the Potabotas do, but he'll sprinkle some kind of fucking fairy dust or some shit. It doesn't hurt you, so he's pretty much worthless. In the future, he won't even do that, and he's slower. Next up, we got this ladybug. He's pretty much exactly like Motora, but every so often he'll shed out a mine. In the future, though, he can't, so he pretty much just is Motora. And there's this fucking Mantis. This fucking guy has ruined my day so many fucking times. He's not even hard. He's like Slicer, but he can move back and forth, and when he throws his claws, you can deflect them when you spin or you jump. He's just always in a spot where you're gonna run into him, unless you're lucky or you know where he is in advance. I hate him so fucking much. He's fucked me up so many times, and I've had to do so many retakes that I finally fucking got it to where I can just breeze through and not worry about him. Oh my god, I hate him so much. In the future, he doesn't have his claws at all, so he's worthless, but oh my god. Alright, that's it for the badniks of Collision Chaos. Let's get cracking with the game. So here we are in Collision Chaos, this game's version of Carnival Night or Casino Night. Right off the bat, they'll give us a shield here, and that's because if you're dumb or never played before, this will happen. Also, Amy has followed us here and is promptly captured by Metal Sonic. So now it looks like our job to save the day. A little bit of trivia, in early beta versions of the game, Metal Sonic was actually able to electrocute you there. But that was ultimately scrapped for reasons unknown. Give you another shield right here, and now we're off to the future. Now unfortunately, between time zones, you will lose your shield, but that's really not too big of a problem because we're going to the bad future. And we have really nothing to worry about. The mantises are fucking useless. So that's really the only problem I have with the stage, and we don't have to worry about it. These bouncers are pretty good for keeping up your momentum when you're time traveling. If you bounce on them, you won't lose speed. So that's good. You'll see later there's a chance to get caught between them when you're trying to warp, and if you're fast enough, you can just use that to your advantage. I don't really like the music in this stage, in the American or the Japanese version for that matter. It's just, I don't like it. The rest of the soundtrack is just so much better. I don't really have a strong preference either between the American or Japanese. Both of them have their advantages. And I spent a while trying to get in that thing because it's just like the ones in Sonic 2, but I eventually gave up on it. You know, thinking about it, I really don't like this zone at all. It's not really anything like Carnival Night or Casino Night. You just bounce on stuff a lot. But I guess, you know, once we get out of the way, we can get to the cool zones. I don't know what's up with this ledge. I guess it has something to do with the chute, but if you jump while you're on it, you kind of get launched up. I don't know, maybe a bug or something. And here's what I was talking about, getting caught in the bumpers. Sometimes you'll get stuck in them, but if you just manage to keep in between them, you'll get warped anyway. You won't lose your momentum. Those piston things are back, and like always, they bounce you up. Be careful of this moving bumper up here, because it can knock you into the future signpost on occasion, and that's just a pain in the ass. There's a few other areas like this in the stage that you can use to warp pretty easily. Also, if you bounce, keep rolling, because sometimes that cicada will nail you. Here we have our Metal Sonic projector and a shield, which will make things a little bit easier for us in this level until we get to the roboticizer. And this is exactly what I was talking about with the mantises. You can knock their claws back like that, and you don't need a shield to do it. But if you don't anticipate it, it's just gonna ruin your shit. Here we can see the pistons no longer fire anything at you, and I thought for some reason that they bounced you lower when they weren't functioning, but I was wrong. And here's our roboticizer, which means we're done here and we can just get to the exit. I don't know what it is about this part of the stage, but I always end up getting stuck here for a little bit. I guess it's kind of like Casino Night Zone, but not. And I guess it's the most Casino Night-esque of the level, but... well, at least until you get to the boss, which you'll see, but I don't know. I was never really a fan of those stages because you couldn't go straight. You always end up getting bounced around places you don't want to go. I don't really mind being held back a bit, I just don't like feeling restricted. There's not really all that much that's different between the time periods, at least not in this act. There's a couple of differences in Act 2. For the most part, it's just aesthetic though. So I don't know if the developers just got lazy or what, but I would have liked to see a little something more on this zone. Pretty sure that monitor can only be accessed in the future. There's a fake floor there, I think. But that'll do it for Act 1, and we'll move on to our special stage. Here we have special stage number 3. The background is this cool looking underwater lab kind of thing. Don't know really what else to say about the special stages. They're all pretty much the same, at least in function. This one's still one of the easier ones. They don't get difficult just yet. Those fans are such a help. You can see how much the water sucks because even just hopping in it for a split second, you lose a significant amount of time. But in the long run, that's not too much of a problem because the blue UFOs will spawn pretty much indefinitely as far as I know, as long as you don't run out of time. Really, that's it for the special stage number 3. I'm going to take a break here and go pay a visit to those jerks in Pod 6.